arts, entertainment and lifestyle. ChaKraTv. It never ends.
Hello and welcome to Simple Talks on ChaKraTv, and today we are coming to you from Pearl Grand Hotel in Bambalapiti. I'll put all the information in the description and make sure to check them out and hit that bell notification as well so that you get notified as long as we upload something new. Right, on the show today I have with me my guest Mr. Damayantha Kuruppu. Good to have you on the show.
Thank you for the invitation.
Right. Damayantha, now to start things off, you carried long years of experience behind you in the entertainment industry. Tell us a little bit more. How did you get into entertainment industry?
Goes back many years. My very first presentation was in 1975, and I was just 21, I think I was, and probably the youngest producer in Sri Lanka.
Okay.
And I got involved in, we had a band. We started the band in 1971.
Okay.
Right?
What was the name?
Initially it was known as Minx, M-I-N-X.
Okay.
And it was actually this famous singer, Morris Dahanayaka, who has some, he's like Jyotipala type of singer, and his son, Ajit, he had a guitar, and then a friend of mine bought a drum set. His Upari Fernando's cousin. Upari played drums for Savage, with Raj. And so we had the instruments and we started play, and then we in fact covered the latest Western songs. And at that time it was basically a recording off the radio because we had no CDs, nothing, and we had LPs, and we couldn't afford LPs.
Right.
So anyway, we started with the band, and then eventually in '73, I was a huge fan of Clarence, Super Golden Chant music, and for someone I got in contact with Clarence, and we became good friends. And he also wanted to do something unique. He wanted to learn German, so, and both of us went on the scooter. At the time he had a scooter. This was in '74, and they were like the most popular band. They were doing about 3 gigs a day, like weddings and morning, afternoon. And then he started this series called Super Concert with Super Golden Chance. And they, at that time in '73, he only had 2 venues in Colombo. Ramakrishna Hall at Velavata and Navaranga at Royal College. And then I told Clarence I would like to do a show. With you. And then he said, look, Super Concert is doing very well. We don't, but only thing is, and Clarence had just composed 4 songs for Milton Malone actually. And one was, I think, they were all big hits like Idale and Ghana on the Way. All for anything that Clarence wrote became a hit anyway. So then he said, Rathna was very popular. He was doing the series Sa. So then why don't you do first solo concert for Milton Malone? So when we spoke to Milton, he said, look, he's a very stiff guy. He has no stage personality as such. And so he said, I can't do a complete show, but I'll do the first half of the show, and you take over from there. So that was the agreement. So, but we got the title was Super Concert with Milton Malwarachi and Super Golden Chair. So in fact it was the first solo concert, and I am a 20-year-old who was the producer. And you don't believe, today doing a show is a very costly affair. At that time the venue was 2,000 rupees at Navaranga, and of course subsidized by Royal College. And we didn't have any specific lighting as such. There was nothing available in the country. We used what was available in the hall. And the best sound system at the time was with Gabo PVC. And we used his sound.
Yeah.
And for the first time, Clarence wanted to experiment stereo sounds. He put two speakers, two buffers on the other side of the Navaranga. And so we did it. And his show was absolute sellout. And so that was
your first
how it
entry
all
point.
started, my first show. And then actually we were to take the show to other parts, to Kennedy, Ball and wherever. But I had to leave Sri Lanka for my higher studies. So I went off to UK. And so that was the abrupt sort of ending. But then eventually started again. So anyway, that was how it all started. Yeah.
Right. Let's talk about the start of DK Promotions.
Okay. Dee, actually, in 1999, I heard this guy at SSC on the Sinhalese New Year celebrations sounds so much like Clarence, and I went and spoke to the guy, and he said, "I'm Rajiv Sebastian." I said, "Look, you sing so much like Clarence." So he said, "Yeah." Then anyway, so then I said, "Look," and I'm a whole Anandi, and the sports club of another college wanted to do a fundraiser, and and I thought maybe it's a good opening for me to start presenting shows again. And we did the tribute to Clarence. And so obviously we had to have some sort of identity. Since Rajiv was involved, so we started as DR Entertainment.
Okay.
Damayantha R for Rajiv. And so that was the second innings. The first innings was in 75.
Yeah.
And so that's how this DR thing came. And then we did several shows actually. In fact, I think Bhati and Santosh, I think we featured them for the first time on stage in the 2000. It was the millennium, and it was at Maharakam Youth Center. And then subsequently we had the title of the show itself was 70s to Millennium. So we had the 70s music in the first half and the Millennium music in the second half. So BNS was just up and coming group, and they were singing on tracks actually. So anyway, so we are in, and then DK Promotions came about in 2005. Rajiv parted, and then we dropped the R, and then it just became K because that's my surname, Damayantha Kuruppu.
How many bands or artists have you brought down so far?
Oh, my first international gig was in 2004. That was Lobo.
Yeah.
And I have actually.
Let's name a couple of them.
Yeah, Lobo, and then Sir Cliff Richard in 2007. I must mention it was a joint venture with Volt. And then Daniel O'Donnell 3 times. Tony Christie. Just referring to the original artist, and of course, and also Mary Duff. She came as with Daniel, and then she did the solo thing as well. And then we brought down a lot of look-alike, sound-like bands, but they
are artists.
The Eagles Experience. I mean, they are the official
tribute band.
And the guy who sings is Peter Cetera's brother, Kevin.
How hard it is to bring down an artist?
A lot of involvement.
Especially with the situation in the country right now?
Right now it's impossible because we have this issue of currency. Outward remittances are not allowed in dollars. So even if I find a way of doing it, but then there are so many. The thing is, you see, we have a lot massive taxation on events. Moment we the inland revenue, we have to pay tax, and that tax percentage is based on the artist contract value. And that's a lot.
Yeah.
You see, I mean, like for example, Cliff Richard probably is one of the most expensive. For me, it was the most expensive because I think it cost us 28 million in 2007.
Tax alone?
No, total investment. That is
Right.
I mean, 25 business class tickets alone came to 3 million plus. I mean, we are referring to the race that at that time at rupee at 95, 100 rupees, you know. So, but you look at it, today's cross rate, it's impossible to even dream of thinking, bringing down any such artist.
So, which means that DK Promotion is not going to bring down any artist soon.
Well, I don't think anyone can afford to bring an original artist, because you see the frontline singers thing is, it's not just matter of having money. They have a thing called
the logistics.
No, they have a rider. You know, like the basic things that they want, the stage and the lighting. So all that costs money, and they must satisfy even the insurance for their travel and stay here. So there are a lot of things that's involved. So, but considering the situation today, it is virtually impossible, because we can't meet up. Like, you know, they talk about the COVID issue is one, but then that is more or less like out of the way now. But then it's basically with the rupee being so weak, we just can't. We can't cover up. And also, the other biggest disadvantage we have is we don't have proper vehicles to have shoes. You see, I mean, I'll tell you a story. When Sir Cliff Richard was brought on, he stayed here for a week, you know, and the concert was on a Saturday, and he didn't stay in Colombo. We booked him into Hilton Soundgarden, so he went and stayed there. And then the manager and the crew were staying at Cinnamon Lake. It was transition at the time. They went to the convention center. They looked at the place. He said, "I don't think Cliff will sing here." Now, you know, tickets have been mostly sold, and so then he said, "Don't bring him here until he comes to the sound check."
Okay.
And when Cliff came to the sound check, he said, "This is a warehouse." Never in my life I have performed in a hall which is so long, right? And generally I like to face the audience. So basically I have to turn around, up this, you know. Anyway, so how many tickets have you sold? So we have sold out. Well, I'll do it, but please, don't bring any artist until you have a proper way.
I mean, that was back in the
2007.
So
but the thing is, you see, right now we have venues like Nelupokuna, BMSCH, which can go up to 1,500 people. But with 1,500 people, you can't cover up. Like even Daniel O'Donnell, the final time, the third time he came around, it was expensive. But you see, if you do more than 2 shows, then the charges are double. And even I mean, if you take Lionel Richie, you know, halfway through, he just couldn't continue. He was sweating so much, and
I remember.
when he took the break, he refused to come back, and so it was a bit extra money, and then finally he did the show. But fortunately, our audience was so fantastic. You know, they were singing away. And so that motivated him. But any other country where people did not like participate, it would have been a different story, I guess.
True. You produce CDs?
Yeah, I have a band which is we called ourselves Vision, because I want them to be the top retro band. And we consider it retro because considering my age and the type of music. Because I think the present day music is difficult for a band to perform.
And what's the name of the band?
Vision.
Vision. Okay.
Because this is why the vision, you know, you have to have a vision.
Vision.
Whatever you do, you know,
you need to have vision.
The corporate sector, you take mission statement.
Absolutely.
You have to have a vision, and then of course then comes the mission. So the vision, my wish is to give the audience the very best in retro, and we don't we write notations and we do we produce proper music. We don't do anything pre-recorded and no thumb drives plugged into a keyboard. It's all live. And songs that I sing also, I try to sound so much like the original. And the music also, we try to reproduce the same music, because after all, people come and they pay money and they like to listen to something good. So the band is it's a mixture of like single and English, and the English songs we do are mostly Clarence's, honestly, Miltamal Orachi, the Bailas. Now that this one is no more, so we had to remember this one, Sunil Pereira.
So how many members are there?
That's a 7-piece band.
7 piece, okay.
We have sax, lead, bass, male, female, that's girl as well who sings with me, and my keyboardist, he also sings. And has drums, lead, bass, saxophone, keyboards, and the two vocals.
So where can the people see you all performing?
We perform at the NCC on and off, but this is the public. But then the next one is on the 10th of February, which is on Friday, at the BMSCH in a small venue. I have a set crowd that come because they like the music we produce. So this particular one we are doing on the 10th is for about 100 packs, and we have already about 80 confirmed bookings.
Okay.
And it's the same crowd who will come in next time as well. But I like to build it up and go up to maybe 150 because I think it's anyone who comes and see what we do, they like it. And then see, the thing is, a lot of bands, the thing is, Western music, you see, you got to understand music.
Yeah.
It's not just baila. You see, Western music is very detailed. And we like to stick to the old style of music, jive, cha-cha. You know, people go for social dancing together, but they have no place to dance.
They dance,
So, and the DJs can't do that kind of music. They can do hip-hop and non-stop, you know. So we try to give them what they like. You know? So we go back to the good old Elvis Presley songs, Frank Sinatra, and you know, then some of the songs like the Beatles, Monkeys, and that kind of thing.
So don't forget to check them out on the 10th of February.
Yep, at 8 p.m. at the BMSCH, Mihilaka Matador, Hall B.
Right, and I'll put the flyer of the event which he has sent me while we speak. It will go on the screen.
Thank you.
Right, so given the situation in the country, how hard it is to be in the entertainment industry or even management industry?
Well, it's, you see, the thing is, I mean, as I said earlier, international artists, concerts, I love to bring. I have a good promoter in the UK.
Okay.
And he works with a lot of bands who are like semi-retired. Like, I had just before COVID, I had Hot Chocolate, Real Thing. They are not very expensive because, and they were all going to come and perform here. And but then because of COVID, we have to stop everything. So we still have. There are good bands like I'm not talking about the people who were from the 70s, early 70s, I would say. But of course, if you go for the big bands like the Kool and the Gang, that's costly because you see you have about 9-10 people and they like to bring all the instruments and sound. Fortunately, we have, but so it's costly. But so eventually, but I don't know. As and when things improve, I may probably still get down individual singers who can be supported with a local band, if possible. And otherwise, like what I did with the Motown, that was that guy who Eddie Hemmings, he has sung with the original Drifters, and he did all the Drifters songs plus Stevie Wonder, Motown music.
Motown.
And then he had 3 girls who actually had danced with the Supremes, with the Dan Ross. So we had the show at the Hilton, at the ballroom. It was a totally, even for me, seeing, I had never seen Dan Ross Supremes live. And seeing some of these artists like this close, and meeting them and associating them. So it's basically, I hope all goes well, but for the moment I'm concentrating on doing shows for the local artists, but then again my forte is the retro. So I just finished Annesley's 75th birthday. I'm planning something for Chitral, Somapal. I did this Altakala concert, which has taken him to different level. And Marians, actually, they were like an open air band. And until
Totally changed them.
I did the Clarence Unplugged thing that took them. It's the show we couldn't fill. We couldn't fill the hall. It was half empty. But the DVD sold like hotcakes. At that stage, the DVD has gone. I mean, on the social media, and actual DVDs have been sold worldwide. So people have seen, and they have the arrangements are fantastic. So, and then they automatically the demand is basically the demand is so great. So they are. I think they are now doing their 35th year concert in Sydney or Melbourne on the 11th of February. So basically, I mean, I'm trying to work out for the local fans with the local artists. Maybe I may even do something in Wilton because it's a Pacific Day Championship in March. So if Chitral is thinking of pushing it back, maybe I'll do something with Ranil. I'll fly him down from Melbourne.
You were telling me off camera about the Desmond Live concert. I mean, for a tribute concert for him.
That is actually the one that is planned by his wife. That's happening in Sydney. But in Sri Lanka, I'm planning to do in July. Tribute to Desmond. I just have to work out because the thing is, you see, the artists like Desmond, you cannot imitate him or personally. It's very hard. And the thing is, Desmond was not just a singer. He's an absolute performer. I don't think you will ever have a Sri Lankan who could sing Sinhala and English equally well. And with such a fantastic personality. I mean, when he walks onto the stage, it takes you to... The biggest problem we have, even for me as a promoter, I have is putting a show together. It's like watching a movie. Like, you have to wait. If the movie is boring, people will not wait till the end. They go off. But here, even the musical show, which is generally is about 2.5 hours duration, and all want to wait. If your last act is Desmond Silva or Sunil Perera, because they wait for them. Because they buy tickets mostly to see them. So now that both are gone, we just don't know who is going to end the show. You see, I mean, Anasli's concert was an absolute success because I brought the living members of the Super Golden Chime members for the last time. So people came to see them. I mean, my average age for that concert was 70. So that's because they all, I mean, when they came to my shop to buy, I have my own DVD, CD shop, and that's where I had the box plan. And they said, look, children, their grandchildren came and bought tickets. It's for Archie, Sias, So that's a different vintage altogether. So and I think what I'm doing is appreciated by all. And so many people ask when is your next concert. But just that because there aren't the younger generation, that's different. They don't need promoter. They themselves market their own shows, and also it's social media.
Speaking of social media, Damayantha, now with your CD and DVD shop, how hard it is to run a DVD shop? Because with the mobile and the internet, YouTube, everything is there right at the top.
It's very difficult. It's like this actually. You see the digital downloads and things like that. That is again for a certain age group. Now the age group that I am marketing, they don't know about.
They like to feel it, touch it and feel it.
They will still like to say, I mean, the new cars don't have this USB. They don't understand that. They still buy CDs. They don't know because often a lot of people play it in the car. But the demand is there because you see, I mean, you can watch it on YouTube, a concert, but often the full concerts are never uploaded. You see, I have done only Anasli's 50th anniversary concert. We have about 500,000 downloads, which is very good. And that's a 3.5 hour concert. It takes up almost all your memory capacity on the phone. So we put song, but part 2, and then now Desmond's DVD, the 75th birthday concert is coming out next week.
Yeah.
It's done now, actually. So it'll be both. All my concerts that I record, I use 6 cameras. I do high-end production.
Okay.
And also it's on both DVD as well as Blu-ray.
Okay. Right.
You know, the Blu-ray is high definition, and I use the very best sound in Sri Lanka, which is Mahinda sound, and we use a 48 channel mixer, and it's all mixed together, so it sounds excellent. I think that quality you have to play it on a DVD player and watch it on a 40-inch TV.
Yeah.
You cannot enjoy it on
your phone.
On your phone. You can't.
Right.
Even if you, of course, with the net technology, you can synchronize it onto your, but then nothing
Not
like
the same feeling.
No, the thing is, you can stop it when you want to. You can watch it again, and you know. So I mean, even if you
Different
want
feeling.
to put it on a pen drive and plug it into your car and watch it. You know, and, thing is there, and it's a sentimental value.
Of course, yes.
So that I think that's what's. You see, if you want to do anything new, I don't think you can't promote new music.
Yeah.
You can still sell. People are looking for the biggest problem at the moment. What we have, the biggest problem we have is the non-availability of blank CDs, no boxes.
Yeah.
So it's a massive disadvantage. I don't know when we are going to, because even now the response thing, even I have presented up to now about. Just before COVID, I did my 100 plus, which was celebrating of more than 100 concerts.
So there you go. Now you remember the number of concerts you have done.
More than now, it's about 130.
How many international artists?
International artists altogether, I think about 20 plus.
20 plus.
Yeah,
Okay.
with Motown and Eagles Experience twice, and then there were. I mean, I still had quite a few artists lined up, but unfortunately the situation. So it's not only Sri Lanka; it's even
everywhere.
Singapore, Nobel tours. I mean, and also the week to week.
Yeah.
But I have. You see, when you get down an artist, if you make it only for Sri Lanka, it's very expensive. But if they do an Asian tour, then we incorporate Sri Lanka for a night, then we share the cost. You see. So that is where we make it more viable. Because I mean, I can still bring, but can we sell a ticket for 50,000? No. I mean, I saw the most expensive, the most amazing concert I've seen is Celine Dion in Singapore, just before COVID. And never in my life I have spent $1,200 Sing dollars for a VIP seat. Of course, I had a souvenir package and a photograph with but the cheapest ticket was about 300. 7,500 people. She had back-to-back shows. The lighting and the sound and the presentation, incredible. We sad, you can't do anything, and we don't have proper venues. We don't have the infrastructure. So and an artist like Celine Dion is 2 million plus. US. This is mind you, not
Unfortunately, she has stopped singing.
She's got this health issue.
Don't forget to check them out on the 10th of February.
Yep, at 8 p.m. at the BMSH Mihilaka Matador Hall B.